Hi, BooTube, and my god, my hair is so frizzy. What's up, BooTube? I'm mainly recording because I stayed home from work today, because I'm not feeling well. It is explained in my previous video, which I believe is for Legends of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 1, titled The Rubicon. This one is actually for the first episode of Arrow, Season 6, titled Fallout. And if you remember from the last episode of Season 5, spoiler alert to anyone who did not see the season finale of Season 5, we left off with basically Oliver trying to track down his loved ones, most especially his son William, and they've been all taken to Lian-Yu. Who was there? Diggle, Felicity, obviously William was somewhere around there, William's mom, Thea, Curtis, Dinah, yeah, like a good and Thea, did I say Thea already? I don't know, but anyway, basically, jerk off, kinda, William was saved, Oliver went after him while he was on a boat where apparently William was. Saved William, but unfortunately fooled just himself, and he had like pretty much a trigger in his head. Basically, he has like a doomsday, I'm not going to say doomsday, but he had one of those like death switches where if he dies, all the explosives that he put on Lian-Yu go off, and so basically he offed himself, and everyone that was on the island was basically trapped there. Basically, we see flashbacks, apparently, where we actually see Slade head toward the Argus ship by himself. And the others are like, okay, fine, Slade, go by yourself. We're gonna go take We're gonna take refuge in this abandoned plane over here, right? But then Samantha, who has no idea that William's actually on the boat with Oliver at the time, she thinks that William is somewhere on Lian-Yu, the island. She runs off away from everybody. You know, Slade's heading toward the Argus ship. Everyone is getting ready to take refuge in the plane. And Samantha, thinking that William is still on the island, rushes off to find him. And Thea's like, no, wait, I'll go get Samantha. You guys just go on the plane right now, right? Which is such a bad thing. And of course, the explosions happen. Boom, 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 boom. Oliver and William are looking there in shock and horror. We do know that everyone that Slade did not go on the plane. He went to go take refuge in the plane. Samantha obviously ran off, and Thea went after her, right? So we know about those three. We don't know what happened with... Shit, what's her name? The doppelganger Laurel. The evil witch that goes by codename Artemis. Because remember, they trapped her in that little cage thing. So we don't know their fates. We don't know the fates of both Al Ghuls, Nyssa and Talia. We saw an explosion, but we cannot confirm nor deny the deaths of Malcolm Merlyn or Captain Boomerang. We saw the explosion. Obviously, Malcolm Merlyn was on that one trigger mine thing, saved Thea from it, and he's basically waiting for Captain Boomerang and his little goonies to get closer, and we saw an explosion off screen. But we have not seen bodies. So unless I see the bodies of Malcolm Merlyn and Captain Boomerang, I'm gonna assume otherwise. I cannot confirm nor deny that they're dead. And like I said, Artemis was in that cage thing. They left her there. We don't know the fates of both of the Al Ghuls. We know what happened with Slade, Thea, and Samantha, and then everyone else took refuge in the plane. But apparently, John got injured in the explosion while they were running from the explosion heading toward the plane. John ends up getting injured on his right pectoral muscles. So yeah, his pecs. He's injured on his pecs, basically. Because apparently, while they were running, the last two to reach the plane were John and Felicity. And apparently, if I remember correctly, Felicity fell or something like that. And John, helped her back up, being a good guy and everything. And he ended up injuring his pectoral muscles. Other than that, everyone else is fine. Everyone that took refuge on the plane was fine. Felicity was fine. John, like I said, got injured in the right pectoral muscle. Oliver manages to get back to the island after the explosions to try to find everybody. Sadly, he finds Thea in critical condition. She's alive, but in very critical condition. But unfortunately, Samantha is not so lucky. He found Samantha dying, and in her last dying breath told him, look after William, basically, right? So we got definite confirmed death of Samantha. I predicted it. I had an oddball feeling that while Samantha and William were there, I had a feeling that there was going to be a moment where something might happen to Samantha. Like either she gets killed or everything that's happening, she might, leave William with Oliver at one point, either willingly or by death, and I guess it was death, right? And of course, Doppelganger. Dinah and Quentin are attacked by Doppelganger Laurel, whom we see he shoots, apparently, right? And after he shoots Doppelganger Laurel, we see an unknown man pretty much save Doppelganger Laurel, right? But anyway, in present day, Thea is sadly comatose from everything, which was sad because, of course, if she didn't go after Samantha, she wouldn't have to, but, Thea being Thea, she's, of course, I have to save I have to save my nephew's mother, you know what I mean? But anyway, William, he's a bitter little boy. I don't blame him, because, of course, his mother died, all because, her involvement with Oliver, right? So, of course, he's bitter about that. He blames Oliver for his mother's death, which I kind of don't blame him. I mean, they were living happy lives, and he was completely oblivious to who his real father was. And then Oliver just comes back into Samantha's life. Well, it wasn't by choice. They just happened to run into each other, because remember, Oliver went to Central City to help out Barry. And it just so happens that Samantha and William live in Central City. But anyway, I kind of don't blame him. I mean, if I was in his shoes, if I was his age and in his shoes, I kind of would blame Oliver too, because a lot of dangerous shit just happens with Oliver. So, anyway. We see a very alive Black Siren, Doppelganger Laurel, with apparently her very own mercenary team, attacking this Star City Police Department to free somebody. And during that confrontation, John, remember, he has some injured right pectoral muscles, but apparently that wound, that injury caused John to accidentally wound Renee while trying to stop Laurel. And apparently Laurel wants to attack the next thing. She wants to attack a City Hall, right? So Team Arrow, sets up a trap. And apparently it was a ruse, from what I remember, because Laurel's gang ends up attacking the hideout, Team Arrow's hideout instead, which I'm not surprised they got to there knowingly, because Laurel, she may be a doppelganger, but one, Doppelganger Laurel was imprisoned in the hideout before. She might have, memorized shit, I don't know. But anyway, and it's also, she's a Doppelganger Laurel. For all we know, in her world, the Team Arrow's hideout could be in the same damn place, for all we know. But anyway, Laurel's gang attacks the hideout instead, but they are driven off by Team Arrow, which is pretty damn cool. I'm not getting too much info in this video, mainly because I don't remember it that well anymore. It premiered October 12th, if I remember correctly, and I'm just doing a pay-by-pay, but last time I saw, we saw Laurel, from what we saw, Quentin shot her, so I was kind of surprised to see her, and, from what I remember, I think, Quentin didn't really shoot her. He was intending to shoot her. He shot off a shot, but I think he purposely missed. He probably just gave her a flesh wound. If he really did shoot Doppelganger Laurel, I think he just gave her a flesh wound to make it seem like, you know, in front of Dinah at least, that he shot Laurel. But of course, he can't shoot Laurel, even though she's a doppelganger, not his Laurel and a bad guy. What father will ever kill someone with his daughter's face? I mean, it's not his Laurel, obviously, she's a doppelganger, and she's a bad guy. But it's still his daughter's face. What parent will shoot and kill someone who has their child's face? So I wouldn't be surprised that when Quentin shot at Laurel, he made it seem like he shot her in front of Dinah, but he probably just gave her a flesh wound. Probably that's why she's there. But anyway, another thing that was really cool is the fact that one of the things I loved was the fact that Oliver arranges another hearing for Renee to reclaim his daughter. I thought that was a very beautiful thing. Like, I literally cried. I was like, thank God! I want Renee to get his daughter real bad. And the only reason why he didn't show up, if you guys remember, again, spoiler alert to anyone who didn't see the episode in Season 5, the reason why Renee did not make it to the hearing, Quentin was actually at the hearing too, wasn't because he didn't want his daughter, it's because he got kidnapped. Because remember, Prometheus, that asshole, and his little gang were kidnapping members of Team Flash one by one to get to Oliver, and Renee just happened to be one of the first people that was taken. That's why he didn't get to the hearing. So, I love the fact that Oliver did that for Renee to get his daughter, because he obviously wants his daughter back. That is a given. If he didn't get kidnapped, he would have made that hearing. We all know this. But anyway, Curtis actually discovers that Doppelganger Laurel actually managed to steal one of his prototype T-spheres. So I'm kind of worried. It's a prototype T-sphere. We don't know what this prototype T-sphere could actually do. So that's kind of worrisome there. We don't know what she is going to do with that T-sphere, or what that T-sphere even does, right? Anyway, Slade and Oliver have a conversation where Slade's telling Oliver that he's going to travel to somewhere called Calgary, Calgary or something like that, and apparently he's going there to find his son, and he's actually giving fatherly advice to Oliver. He's like, I'm gonna go here to find my son, and you gotta choose between being the Green Arrow and your vigilantism, or being there for your son, because you're literally the only parent he has. He already lost his mother. You gotta choose. So it's interesting seeing this side of Slade, because last time we saw Slade, he was rah, kill Oliver, wound him, he took away Shadow from me, and all that shit. So it was pretty unfunny seeing that. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, we do see a reconciliation between Oliver and William, which I love. It was a beautiful father-son moment. But unfortunately, everything was short-lived because Felicity pretty much calls Oliver saying, turn on the TV, and apparently pictures of Oliver wearing the Green Arrow suit has been leaked to the media. And remember, he's the mayor. So it's like, why is our mayor inside a vigilante outfit? Is he the Green Arrow? But keep this in mind, every time Oliver was a suspect as the vigilante, or the Hood, or Green Arrow, it was always rebuffed. So I have a feeling he's going to find a way to rebuff this somehow. But it's probably going to be 10 times more difficult because he's more under the scope because he's mayor of Star City. You know what I mean? He's not just some billionaire playboy anymore. He's actually the mayor. But anyway, a good episode. I like it. It's a shame about Samantha. It really is. And it sucks that John has injury that ended up making him accidentally wound Renee. That really sucks. It's gonna be hard for him to be still Spartan if he can't shoot or fight correctly, you know what I mean? But again, I love that Renee is getting another chance to get his daughter. I love that. And there's gonna be a definite problem with Quentin when it comes to Doppelganger Laurel. But anyway, this is my reaction rant to Arrow Season 6, Episode 1, titled Fallout. Peace, BoTube.